Going on YouTube? So I wanted to do my American Athletic Conference Championship preview. So I just got done with my Mountain West Conference Championship preview. So this one is Temple and Houston, and should be a pretty entertaining game. Two pretty much polar opposite teams. One team that revolves around defense and one star on defense with Tyler Matakevich, and then one team that revolves around the quarterback and pretty much the offense, and that is with Greg Ward. So go ahead and start with my three keys for Temple. My first one is turnover margin of +2. So like I said, they're defense first team, and to be a successful defense first team, you have to be able to force turnovers, and they've been able to do that for most of the year. If they are able to take the ball away from Greg Ward, then it'll shake his confidence up a little bit. Kind of do what UConn did to him. Just stop the offense. I mean, it's obviously harder than it sounds, but it all starts by stopping Greg Ward, getting in his head, and not allowing him to pass the ball. So second key is P.J. Walker, 200-plus total yards. So he not one to get a whole bunch of yards most games. It tends to be a pretty balanced offense, and if they get 200-plus yards through the air, now this is including on the ground, he can run. He's not a run-first quarterback, but he does have over 100 rushing yards on the year, around 150. So he can do it if he has to. But like I said, if he can get 200-plus total yards, just mainly through the air, preferably 250, and I think that gives Temple a good chance to win. And the last one is Jahad Thomas, 2+ touchdowns. He's a running back that has over 1,000 yards and 17 touchdowns this year. He's been solid for him, a good running back in the red zone, and they're really going to need to finish off drives. You can't leave points on the board against a good offensive team like Houston. So move on to my keys for Houston. First one is Greg Ward, 250-plus yards and 3 touchdowns. So Temple is a team that obviously, like I keep saying, is defense first, but they can't put up points when they need to. It's a team that's put up 40-plus points multiple times this year. They scored on some good defenses already. They put up 31 on Memphis, who, again, is a good defensive team. And they were able to compete with Notre Dame. So, they put up points quite a few times this year. It's just, I don't really see Temple's offense competing with Houston's. So leads to the second one, hold Temple to under 30. So I get Houston's not a great defensive team, but they have had their moments. So they've shut out some decent teams that figured they could be able to compete with decently. They held Tulsa to 24, a very good offensive team. They held Navy to 31, who has put up a lot of points on. I believe they put up 45 on Memphis. So that's a good offensive team they were able to shut down. And it's not really a good offensive team at all, but it is an SEC team that did win a couple games in the SEC this year. They did shut out Vanderbilt, so they can play good when they have to, and I believe they'll be able to shut down an offense like Temple. Third one is get Brandon Wilson in rhythm. So I don't think Kenneth Fair is coming back this week. He was the starting running back. Brandon Wilson did do very well last week against Navy in relief. I believe he had around 110, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you got to give him a little bit confident, get him ready to go against a very, very, very good run defense. All right, so my prediction for the game, I believe this will be one of the better conference championship games of the weekend, and I think Houston's going to win. So I think Houston is very pissed off about the UConn loss, as you could see against Navy last week. A very good Navy team that they just beat by 21. So, I think Temple is a very good team as well, and I think they're going to put up a good fight. But I think that Houston's offense is just better than Temple's defense. I think this is the best. I really think this is the best offense that Temple's seen all year. Notre Dame's offense was good, but they were missing a lot. I mean, obviously they were missing a lot of starters this year, and they don't have the same quarterback as Greg Ward. He's proven this year that he's huge. He's very much a dual threat quarterback that doesn't take anything away from his passing. He's a great passing quarterback. Got a lot of athleticism. Hard to get him down in the pocket. So, I think it will be a close game though. If I had to give it a score, I'd say like 44-38, that sort of game. There's been a lot of games like that in the AAC this year. It's honestly been a pretty entertaining conference for what I thought it was going to be. So, that's pretty much it. See if I can come back with my Sun Belt and Big 12 conference previews for this weekend. There won't be not too many big games in there, but there's a couple. It will be my first video of the week predicting multiple games. So, that's pretty much it. So,